you know what? That's all it can do. You got to change it yourself. That's what this conference is about. Changing yourself. So let's give it up for Saucony Prince.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way.
All right. I am so excited to be here today. And you know why I'm excited to be here? Because of each and every one of you. You could be doing anything else with your time right now, but you are taking this opportunity to invest in you. I was thinking about how most of us have GPS systems in our cars and on our phones. And in order for us to get from one place to the next, we have to put in our destination. But once we put the destination in, the next thing it asks, if you don't have your locations turned on, it's going to ask you, where are you? Where are you? In order to actually map a route from where you are to where you want to be, it has to know where you are. And that's not only true for our navigation systems, but it's also true for our lives. Now, I want you to do something for me. And I know this is probably going to be a little weird, but I want you to close your eyes. Now, put your cell phones where you can find them and put your purses close. Everybody ain't safe. Keep your valuables close to you. But I want you to take a second and I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine the life that you want to live. I want you to imagine the impact that you want to make. I want you to imagine the people that you're helping and making their lives better. All right, now you can open your eyes. Now, that picture that you got in your head, that's your destination. That's where you want to go. It's where you want to be. The question is, where are you now? Are you doing that? Are you making that difference? Are you impacting those individuals? And if not, why? My slogan is making motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. And a lot of you say, well, Saucony, how are you going to do that? You don't even know me. In order to get the right answers, you have to ask the right questions. And we'll question everybody else. The last person that we want to question is us. I remember I was in college back in the early 90s, and I was in a relationship with a young lady, and the relationship went south, and it wound up ending. And that, for me, started my own personal journey, understanding who I was. I started asking myself questions. I said, Saucony, why does this seem to be a pattern? Why is it that in 80% of the relationships you've been in, it was the woman that ended? Why? What is it about you that just wants to hold on for dear life? I started questioning myself. But see, so many of us, we don't want to do that. We don't want to take the time to ask ourselves the hard questions. And because of that, we never get better. We never see where we are, so we can never get to where we want to be. We have to take the time to find out where I am right now. And a lot of that has to do with our upbringing, with our childhood, with the environment that we were in. All of that went into making us who we are. If you have an opportunity to, you can go on YouTube and search my name, Saucony Prince. You'll find my YouTube channel. Just this past week, my weekly video was entitled Plug Up the Holes. And I gave an illustration about your life being a bucket. And if you had a bucket that had a hole on the side, that hole was going to limit the capacity of the bucket. No matter how much you put in it, because of the hole, it was going to run out. Now imagine the hole was at the bottom. That would severely limit the capacity of the bucket, because whatever went in, it would run out. Let's say it was halfway up the side. You could fill it up just to the hole. But once it got to the hole, it would start what? Running out. Imagine if the hole was even closer to the top. It would still limit how much you could put in the bucket, because wherever the hole was, that's where the stuff was going to start running out. And in that video, I talked about the importance of knowing that our life is like that bucket. In our childhood is closer to the bottom. The things that have happened to you and I when we were younger that have severely limited our capacity in certain areas, whether it's trust, whether it's love, whether it's communication. All of those are little holes in our life. But if you never take the time to plug up those holes, you will be limited in your capacity to operate in those areas when it comes to other people. And I don't care how old you've gotten. If you never take the time to plug up those holes, you limit your ability to make an impact with the people around you. And that reminds me, somebody in your life encouraged you. Somebody in your life, they spoke into you. They believed in you. They understood you. They took the time to get to know your heart. That person that you could call on and they could help lift your spirits. And believe it or not, they may be dead and gone, but you're thinking about that person right now. But I failed in my assignment if I don't help you understand that you can be that person for someone else. You can have that same impact for someone else. But see, a lot of us, we are so busy dealing with our own stuff. And I mean, not in a good way. We are lamenting over it. We are talking about how bad it was. And please, don't get me wrong. I know we've gone through some horrific stuff. But I posted just about 2 weeks ago. And I know we've all heard the what doesn't kill you make you stronger. I changed that up. I said, what doesn't kill me, better run. Because I'm not going to allow what attacked me to keep me from moving forward. And so many of us, we can't pour into other people's lives because we are so caught up with what happened to us. We don't see the impact we're making on other people. Several years ago, I was doing my annual summit. Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? It's actually, I named the summit after my Amazon award-winning best-selling book, Are You Climbing the Wrong Mountain? And I guess depending upon how you look at it, it was fortunate or unfortunate. I had the event less than a mile from my house, which meant that obviously I left something at home because I was going to forget. And I was running around, I was trying to figure out, okay. I left that at the house. I gotta go get that. And so I told my staff, I said, listen, I'll be right back. I gotta run to the house and grab something. At the time, our 10-year-old son said, Dad, can I ride with you? I'm like, sure, son, come on. And I mean, I'm in the process of trying to go over in my mind, listen, I only have one time to go home. I can't go back. I need to make sure I get everything that I need in this one trip. So I'm sitting there thinking, going through all of this stuff. We go outside, we get in the car, and we're driving. And it's less than a mile from my house. I'm doing 35 miles an hour, trying to get home. And in the middle of me driving, without being prompted, without having a conversation or anything, my 10-year-old son said to me, he said, Dad, I'm proud of you. And in that moment, I stopped, not driving, but I stopped because I realized he's watching me. We can tell our children all the time, you can be whatever you want, you can accomplish whatever you want, you can do whatever you want. But when they look at us, what do they see? Why do their heroes have to be on Instagram and Facebook and on YouTube and oh, well, there we go. That was my name tag, by the way. Why is it that they have to be so far away? Why can't they sit across the table from the heroes? Why can't the heroes drop them off at school? Why can't they have a conversation with the heroes every single day? And when I realized that my son was watching me, I thought to myself, I have an opportunity to shape his life. I have an opportunity to show him what's possible. You have that opportunity as well. You would be surprised at how many people look up to you. How many people wish that they had what you have? And I'm not talking about material things. Some of it's just confidence. I had a friend of mine in New Orleans. He told this woman, I would give everything I owned if I could see what you saw in me. See, that's what I mean by introducing you to yourself. Once you truly understand who you are, nothing can stop you. But until you understand your own capability and your own capacity, anything can. Anything can keep you from achieving your goals and your dreams. So I want to encourage each and every one of you to take the time to get to know yourself. And that doesn't, so many of us, we get so familiar with us that we don't even question why we do stuff anymore. I told you about the relationship that went bad. I started asking myself, Sakona, why is this? Why? Why is this a pattern? Let's look into that. And see, most of the time, people only get that done during a threatening moment, when the tire blows out. That's when they address it. But if it's a slow leak, let's put some more air in it. Just keep on riding. Let's put some more air in it, keep on riding. But when it blows, then, okay, now I have to deal with it. So I encourage people to, in a non-threatening moment, evaluate yourself. Look at your strengths and your weaknesses. So many people just want to focus on, just the stuff they don't like. Give yourself a little bit of encouragement because there are some things that you are doing great. There are some things that you're doing right. But those things and those areas that you need to help in, take the time to get that help. And most of the time that comes with having somebody who truly cares about your success, who truly wants to see you succeed, somebody who is not threatened by you being better or more than you are, to help you. Insecurities show up in so many ways. For some people, their insecurity shows up in, I have to always have a new suit. I have to always have a new car. I have to always have this much in my bank account in order for me to feel like I'm worth something. Sometimes insecurities show up when I don't want to be in the spotlight. I don't want to stand out front. I don't want people to know who I am. I want to play in the background. Well, listen, we all need examples. And again, like I said, somebody's looking at you. Somebody is watching you. What are you showing them? My son, he said, Dad, I'm proud of you. I was showing him that, son, you can do it. You can go after your dreams. I know it's not easy. There were times when he saw me sweating. Times when he saw me wondering how I was going to do it. But did I let that stop me? No. Most of the times we see our quote unquote heroes, we see them in the best light at the movie premiere. We see them on the cover of the magazine. After they've been working out and had airbrush stuff, and we see them there, but rarely do we see them in a process. And some of you in this room, you're in the process of becoming great. You already have it on the inside of you. I proved that by you thinking and you visualizing where you want to go. But it's a process. Going back to that navigation, once you get the destination and once you find out where you are, it makes a map. It tells you that there are some certain places that you can go. Oh, where there's construction, so you're going to have to take a detour. But all of that plays into the fact that you can get to your location. But I can also tell you this, and I don't want to leave you here thinking that it's not going to take any work. When I was in college, again, when I first started moving, it was easy. I didn't have any stuff. I literally could take a sheet and put it in the floor and put everything in the sheet, grab the corners, tie it up, and put it in the trunk of my car. Here's the kitchen, here's the bedroom, here's the dining room. That was it. That's all I had. I didn't have hardly anything. But towards the end of college, hey, Greg, hey, what you doing this weekend? Yeah, I'm gonna need you to help me move. He knew he couldn't tell me no. Because guess what? He was gonna have to move. And see, once you get more stuff, you need more help. If your goals and your dreams aren't big enough, you need to dream bigger. But you also need to realize you can't do it on your own. You need help. Even if it's just somebody holding you accountable. Somebody holding you accountable to what you said you wanted to do. And that's why having somebody in your life that really wants you to succeed, that intends and means for you to succeed is so important. And a lot of what's going on here, I'll be honest with you, it's like parenting. I have 5 kids. Yeah, I saw that. Wow, yeah, 5 kids. And in fact, believe it or not, I was telling our children, I said, listen, I'm not raising children, I'm raising adults. They looked at me like, wait a minute, what you mean? We're not adults. But with children, we're not adults. I said, okay. I said, do you wait till you get to school to put your school clothes on? No. I said, you wait to get to church to put your church clothes on? No, sir. I said, do you wait until you get in the pool to put your swimming suit on? They said, no. I said, that's right. You always get ready somewhere else. You always get dressed somewhere else, right? I said, well, you don't wait till you become an adult to learn how to be one. I said, now is the time, and this is the place that you learn the skills you need to become an adult. I'm not just being a mean ogre. I'm trying to make sure that you can survive apart from us. I don't still stay with my parents. You're not going to stay with me. I'm making a productive citizen to send out into the world. So I want to make sure that they have what they need. And that's what sessions like this do. They remind you of the fact that you have an incredible opportunity to impact so many people's lives around you. And because of that, there's a responsibility that comes with that. The greatest lesson I learned literally came from a Saturday morning cartoon, Spider-Man. Your Uncle Ben told him, with great power comes great responsibility. And that's just a paraphrase of to whom much is given, much is required. But see, I think that oftentimes people don't realize what they have. They don't realize what they've been given, and because of that, they don't see their responsibility. When my son told me, Dad, I'm proud of you, responsibility. I had a responsibility. But again, I failed if I don't help you see that. You have a responsibility. There are people's face that light up when you walk in the room. When they get a phone call from you, they answer it. And if they can't answer it, they call you back because you mean something to them. Responsibility. You have the ability to impact somebody's life. But again, oftentimes we have a problem doing that if we haven't ministered to ourselves. We can be our own best friend and our own worst enemy. We have to take the time to spend time with us. I know it's going to be hard to believe, but there was a period in my life when I couldn't buy a date. I'm serious. I was promising dinner and a movie, McDonald's and a matinee. No takers. No takers. But you know what I did? I started hanging out with me. I started doing stuff that was fun for me. I became my own best friend. And it got to the point to where it's like, if you don't like me, that's your loss. Because I know the type of person I am. I know the type of friend I am. I know what I have to offer. And if you can't see that, I feel sorry for you. So many of us were waiting for other people to, do you like me? Do you like me? Oh, why don't you like me? Oh, do you accept me? Am I okay to you? Why don't, no. I gave it up a long time ago. I started to like myself. So if I was in a room alone, I was okay. If I was in a room full of people, I was okay. See, that's where your strength lies. When you don't allow other people to control you like that, you have an opportunity. I mean, there's nothing that can stop you. When you're not worried about what other people think. When you know that you have a responsibility, it really doesn't matter who likes you or who doesn't. It really even doesn't matter who supports you or who doesn't. Because when you know your purpose, when you understand what it is you've been given, again, nothing can stop you. I want each of you to understand that you have an opportunity to change somebody's life. And not only that, they're waiting on you. They're waiting on you. When I show up, they tune me out. I don't want to hear what he has to say. He can't talk to me. He doesn't know anything about me, my history, my background. What is he going to tell me? But when you show up, Jeff, when you show up, you speak to them. There's somebody waiting for you to show up. Even if it's in a crowd of one, a conversation, a little time, a listening ear, they will give you that. And you have a huge responsibility to encourage them, to motivate them. You can take your candle and light somebody else's. Dr. Phil said, blowing out my candle doesn't make yours brighter. So many people don't want to do that, again, because of their insecurities. But if you deal with your own insecurities, then you can see beyond yourself. And you can actually see the needs of other people. I remember I had a meeting with the banker one day, and I forgot how the conversation kind of turned, but he said, if I was, for some reason, standing on the street, my child was down the street about to be mortally wounded, but I didn't have any clothes on. Do you think I would go to get some clothes, or do you think I would go to get my child? And the answer was, you're going to go to get your child, regardless as to what you have or don't have on. You see, there is somebody that's waiting for you. And I know we want it right. I know we want it perfect. It's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be 100% right. In fact, you get it right on the way. How many of you would have believed that I had a stuttering problem as a child? Anybody? Oh, one, two, a couple of people that know me. I did. I had a stuttering problem. Do you think I let this stop me? If you would have told me I was going to be a motivational speaker, if you would have told me I was going to be a coach and an author, if you would have told me I was going to have my own television show, I would have laughed you under the table. But what I realized is that it was more important to get the message out. So I had to work on me. But I'm doing that for you. What I want you to do, I want you to work on you so you can do that for somebody else. Because again, they are waiting for you to show up. They are looking for you. Somebody is hungry for what you have. Don't leave them starving. Don't do that. Such an impact that you can make. You can be an example. You can leave a legacy. I'm going to end with this. I had an opportunity to speak on a National Men's Prayer Call several months ago. The subject was consistency. I said, well, to be honest, fellas, consistency is the second leg of a four-leg race. I'm like, what do you mean? I said, well, in order for you to be consistent, you have to be committed. Because there is no consistency without commitment. Once you are committed, then you can be consistent. But after you've been consistent for a while, that consistency leads to success. I said it was the second leg of a four-leg race. So the first one is commitment. The second one is consistency. The third one is success. But the fourth one is legacy. You leave a trail for other people to follow. Think about Michael Jackson. He was committed to music. That commitment allowed him to be consistent in music. That consistency allowed him to be successful in music. That success over time allowed him to be legendary. Think about Michael Jordan. He was committed to basketball. Even after being cut from his high school basketball team, he didn't allow that to hold him back. And that amount of commitment allowed him to be consistent. That consistency led to a successful NBA career. And quite arguably, he is one of the best basketball players that have ever lived. Legendary. My question to you is this: what's going to be your legacy? What are people going to think about when they mention your name? For me, I want people to know that I make motivation personal by introducing you to yourself. Because once you truly understand who you are, again, nothing can stop you. That's my time. Thank you.
Nothing can stop me.